Sandy. This is awesome. My goodness. I'm so excited to be here, and it's a gift to be here tonight to celebrate Lori and the power of sharing poetry. So I'll be reading 6 poems tonight, and they'll be on the themes of motherhood, loss, renewal, aging, and hope. And sometimes they'll interweave because that's how my psyche works. So you just have to bear with that. 3 of these were published in some collections, so I need to get a shout out to Anomaly Poetry and Small Gems Press. They're in these poetry collections here. Thank you to them. That's all within the last year. First one is called Real Estate. My little one with hungry eyes, always wanting to be fed faster than lightning. Urgency in every cell. Nerve branches reaching a multitude of trajectories simultaneously. Your glorious heart racing beyond the stars. How to keep up with the fast twitch muscles in your little body, the endless curves of gray matter in your brain. Child, I molded the contours of my love around your growing appetite to mitigate an onslaught of inevitable disappointments. Shield sharp rays of sunlight from your eyes. Soften irritants to your skin. Filter screeches from your eardrums so they would beat their own rhythms. Lullabied you to healing sleep, despite your heroic efforts to remain awake every moment in search of constant mastery over universal entropy, a force that shatters objects and people alike. I promised to hold you when you cried an earthquake, when the world impinged all at once upon your heavenly psyche, knitting your bones, threatening tender dreams of a grand and cushioned bed, soft as velvet petals, firm as a honed lap from which to order your chaos. Now a man, I seem so small as you embrace your hunger. Tell me with all the love held upon broad shoulders, sewn into each calf, each bicep, strong and proud, that it is good to be a bit starving. Keeps you shooting stars across space, aimed at great discoveries, in search of meanings layered like cake, never yielding to mediocrity, becoming the creator of elegant patterns that will nest upon one another in eventual harmony and peace. Then you will clear the clutter, control the chaos, rest in the comfort of the bed you have made, own the home of your dreams. The next poem is titled Message for My Sons. When I am too frail to hold you, arms weary, eyes clouded, I will see you, loud as sun penetrates blue winter skies. When my ears conduct mere whispers, I will hear your thunderous voices rise in my spine, harmonious chords singing salty tears of an ocean's mouth pressed to my lips. What is love but the stroking of my skin by your poetic tongues, filled with pain and promise, poised on a runway readied for flight? Don't be afraid to fan your precious feathers when my body weakens. My soul will soar the wind with you, chime on covered porches, shimmer as diamond reflections upon a late afternoon day. What is life but the interchange of parts with one another, a series of empathic waves that wash through our ephemeral frames, My last breaths will remain as particles in air that dance through every space you occupy, glide as translucent jellies in deep seawater where lungs are not needed to survive. Jeweled stones on shifting shores will make their way into your welcoming palms. Childhood hands within your grown men grips will skip them across gentle waves, magic their ripples of impact. When my physicality is gone, you will converse with me through the steam of breath on winter mornings. Find my wisdom in the softened earth that cups your feet, my voice in the rhythm of spring rain, my heartbeat as it sails the river of your bloodstreams. Next, I'm going to read a poem about Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And it always occurs in the fall. And it's a period of reflection, atonement, and renewal. It's heralded by a blast of the shofar, traditionally an instrument that's crafted from a ram's horn. Awaiting Rosh Hashanah, summer's end slips onto our porch, renewing her promise of a golden harvest, mounds of mums, warm wicker chairs. There was a time in our family when autumn brought obstinate sorrow, mountains on fire, a father snatched away, a mother submerged in rot. Even blistering joy, our niece's September birth, became a burning heart, a bullet shot into a sunflower's core, anticipating the shofar blast beyond, a shriek in the dark skies of our genocides. This morning, the crisp air is kind. Peace dwells within my porch, a sanctuary, a blessing unfolding its plumage. We witness the ram's horns on our mantle, crafted by once small hands to be lifted, chosen again. Time dances between breaths. We open our insides to the wild wind, to each other, to the hidden constellations that hold us together for yet another chance. Thank you. My next poem is about aging. It's a brand new poem. It's still in progress. This is the first time I'm reading it to anybody. It's called Wail of the Baby Loon. Let me tell you about aging. We stretch like rubber bands pulled to their limits, then snap. Last week, I saw an old friend in Pawtucket Village. She told me her husband died unexpectedly 2 months ago. A cancer ate his brain. Her grief, an unending cargo train refusing to stop, carrying her hard-earned memories down endless tracks. Last year, I lost my friend, consumed by her own bloated bowels, a dancer who tried to choreograph her life. I see her slender body, a scarf waving in the wind, disappearing in gray fog. Envision my place in this devilish queue, mourn the loss of myself before I'm gone. Everyone asks me, how is retirement going? I tell them, I haven't awoken one single morning wondering what I will do today. I'm busy beating my life as a precious necklace of pearls, lustrous orbs strung together one at a time, the length of eternity. I've taken up adolescence again. Each new discovery, a ball of fire igniting my sternum. insecurities that open like sinkholes I rescue myself from. My world, a sea of questions. The paradox of existence, a set of laser beams shot into the pupils of my eyes. I am getting younger. A baby moon arises in my lungs amidst an urgent, hungry wail. I'm about to jump out of this nest, eager and afraid. My wings are ready to flare, ready to fly me to new destinations. Beak forward, pointing towards the sun, biting the blinding air. Now I'll read a poem that takes the form of a contrapuntal. If you don't know what that is, be happy to talk with you about it afterwards, or if you're tuning in, you can DM me on Instagram and I'll tell you about it. It is called Closing an Era. Tomorrow, I say goodbye to my therapist of many years. We will meet at a pastry shop without her familiar ergonomic chair, reclining, reaching through time for words to embody familiar nuanced notes of care. Spaces unexplored, the sticky residue of grief seen and unseen, flickering in daylight reminders of what was and will become. She is old now, has retired her office, a small, quaint place an hour's drive north of me. As I squint in the sunlight of an autumn afternoon, the spirit in my lap unsettled, spreading its fingers, imprints on this last inking of designs we've created, wanting more than my gratitude, permeating each pause, the ghost who stroked my beating skin softly as we travel together beyond our breaths exchanged across decades. Tomorrow, I say goodbye to my therapist of many years. She is old now, has retired her office. We will meet at a pastry shop, a small, quaint place an hour's drive north of me, without her familiar ergonomic chair, reclining as I squint in the sunlight of an autumn afternoon, reaching through time for words to embody the spirit in my lap, unsettled, spreading its fingers, familiar nuanced notes of care, imprints on this last inking of designs we've created, spaces unexplored, wanting more than my gratitude, permeating each pause, the sticky residue of grief, the ghosts who stroke my beating skin, seen and unseen, flickering in daylight softly as we travel together, beyond reminders of what was and will become, our breaths exchanged across decades. My final poem is short and hopefully ends on a note of hope. It is called Promise. If I could live in the arc of a rainbow, my consciousness ensconced in droplets, existing as mist arched over the horizon, tears of gladness and grief, drowning terror, cleansing human nature, I would live in color as a transient event, disintegrate in gray, grain sky, disseminate fragments of hope, disguised as they settle upon the earth, upon people I love, multitudes I do not know, vibrate as a web of breath, threading an invisible gossamer veil, colored silken by beams of sun rays, reveal a majestic promise engraved in invisible ink. Thank you, girls, and thank you all so much for listening, and for everyone attending here and everyone tuning in, and a special thanks to Lori Kirkland for holding such sacred space for so many poets, and to Craig Kirkland for organizing this event, and for being so gracious as to invite me to share my poem.